guys are ready to do battle between the Tennessee Titans and the Seattle Seahawks. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returned. Turnable, it's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Gotta go, gotta go. We go.
Now Trubisky on first down. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He goes underneath to Drake. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll bring up a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Returnable for Lockett. Sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Handoff to Mixon. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Don't take forever, okay?
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And An inaugural trip to the red zone here for the Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 19.
Spread left. 19.
They go read option with Wilson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. This time, Wilson will throw. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
We got three, fellas. Spread left.
On 3rd down, Wilson.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Drake. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Well, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
got it.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
Don't take forever, okay?
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's going to be met at about the 43. On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Come on, let's go.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st. From the gun, it's Wilson. Going right side here, that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a... From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. Henry's got it out on the left side. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady roll wins the race, doesn't it? In though. They want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. He dumps it off to Drake. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
On first down, Drake, and he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Lock in, lock in.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Pressure comes, and Trubisky goes down.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
Let's see what they draw up here. 3rd and long following the sack of Trubisky. Here's Trubisky to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy that has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Check 50, check 50. Gun, gun, gun. All right.
On first down, Wilson dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Zebra, zebra.
They go play action with Wilson. finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. Wilson now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And that might be Titan football. It is.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Throwing here, Trubisky. He finds Corey Davis. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Let's go, let's go. Hurry, hurry. Ran,
On first down, Trubisky. And his throw is incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
You see it, you see it?
A pitch out to Drake. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Hey, gotta go, gotta go.
They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. As his guys are in for 6. And the Titans are just an extra point away from moving out in front. Boswell good with the extra point. And that will give him the lead here as we get on towards halftime. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Good jumbo! Good jumbo!
Now Wilson on first down. Flushed out right. The ball comes out, and that might be Titan football. It is. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Now it's Trubisky. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone and throw into the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Flush to his right. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Trubisky. Dancing to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. In for the score. And the Titans find a way to stretch their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
We have hit halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there, just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's airing it out for Williams. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Oh, bad Seattle memories on that sequence. Russell Wilson intercepted again by Malcolm Butler.
And let's face it, when we went into this game, were we not wondering, could that happen again? Would we have to talk about this? Would Malcolm Butler be able to pull it off? And he did.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver there was Jonnu Smith, and that'll bring up second down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and he's just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Trubisky will throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Wilson. To Mixon on the check down. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have made this a 1-score game. Wilson now. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And with it, they're back within a field goal. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. Now Dion Lewis to return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd down, here's Trubisky. Rashard Matthews here on the catch. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play that time for the Titans. And even 40 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Gotta go. You see it?
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Forced out to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Hurry!
On 1st and goal, Drake. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And the ball situated at the 9, 2nd and goal.
Hey, gotta go.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 30. 10. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And following the pick six, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. It's Trubisky again, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
You see it?
On the toss play, this is Drake. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. Give them 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but There are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now Trubisky, the left side completion to Jones. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. The Titans on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And no field goal try here from the red zone offense out there. They'll go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And he hits his man, Matthews. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Whoa, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff for Drake. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal.
Detroit! Detroit!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Flushed out right. And he's going to go down again.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And Boswell's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them to a field goal on the other side, they'd be down. But now it's about preserving that very small lead.
It is preserving and maybe stretching it out a little bit, because if you're a starter on that side of the ball, I certainly hope you didn't loosen up your shoulder pads or start to cut the tape off, because if you did, you did it way too soon. They've got to go back out there with renewed vigor, for lack of a better term, and also a good plan. They need points, and they need them now.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Big jumbo! Big jumbo! Big jumbo!
Now Wilson on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hamilton. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
Go! Got it! Spread left!
On second down, here's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. From the gun, it's Wilson. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Gostkowski the extra point. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. Goskowski now out to kick it away. This will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Titans now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Rashard Matthews the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Steps away. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Dante Fowler in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Back to throw. Flushed out right. Incomplete. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
They begin with a run by Mixon. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1.
Zebra. Hey, hey. 48's the mic. Push left. Under 10, 10.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Seahawks, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next